Welcome to No Man's Sky Live PC version with mods. I finally got the settings all right for the encoder and the video settings, and everything should be correct. And I can begin showing gameplay. Now, I am in the Hilbert dimension, the second galaxy, and I wanted to show you just a few things. This is my ship here. I have a baby dragon, and you'll notice this decal on the bottom here, and it's also up here. This is part of a mod, one of the mods that I have, and it's a simple mod. It's simplistic. It just adds a decal of a number from the Predator movies. It is part of the Predator numbering system. There's also the soldiers and alien numbering system in here as well. The alien one was just kind of made up because, of course, they don't have a numbering system, but it was just something kind of interesting to add to, this, and it also shows up on buildings. It shows up in other places, and if I wanted to, I could remove all decals with a different mod and get rid of all the lettering and the shapes and different things like that. But I believe that they have to do something with the three different races in the game, and has to do with possibly monoliths or portals. So I'm leaving those in. Let's go ahead and get in the ship, and I'll start off by saying you're going to notice that I have color screens. I have a mod which adds color to all 5 of the screens, and the center bottom screen has a mod for itself, which I could choose from any of 5 different colors to put on there. I chose the one that's called yellow. It adds the yellow lines going across an orange base, instead of there's other colors like blue, green, and purple, things like that. Another thing that you'll notice is that the top right monitor, the screen that I have in my ship, says missile launcher. I have a missile launcher mod, and it overrides the photon cannons. The photon cannons are no longer on my ship. Instead, I'm able to launch missiles, and they do have an orange flame when they leave my ship, and a smoke trail, and they cause a big explosion when they hit, and cause more damage than the photon cannon, things like that. And I'll go ahead and go out here, and you'll be able to see that I've added a couple of mods for space. One is called Deep Space. And the reason that I'm saying all of this right now is because it goes out as a recording and other people are able to see it right away, and they're able to listen to what I'm saying right away. I don't know if anybody's online for the live stream, but right now I can't see anything in the chat. I would have to minimize my large screen in order to do that. So if there's something in the chat, then I'll have to see it later, or I don't even know if anybody's watching. But the Deep Space mod. Deep Space makes all of the space look like 90 to 95% black space, like you're actually in the space that we know. There are dust clouds, coloration clouds in this version. As you can see, there's a little bit of red dust cloud there covering the space and skies, stars. And you'll notice that I'm not being bombarded by umpteen million different asteroids. I have a mod which also gives me fewer asteroids, and that's the name of the mod actually. It's called Fewer Asteroids. And what you can do is, on that mod, you can modify it to where it's 25% less, 50% less, or even 75% less. I believe that what I did was the 75% less. So I can still get Thamium-9 from the asteroids, but I have to basically find the asteroids, like I am now here, and they're not everywhere. It enables me to be able to fly around in space without being bombarded by them, and not having to dodge them all the time and things like that. So it makes the game a little bit roomier, better, for me at least. You can only, what you can do is only remove like 25% or 50% and make it only half of what is normally out there. Now, I do have some undiscovered planets here in this solar system that I'm in. I did not remove the lens flare. As you can see, it does give a bright flare light when looking at lights like that, but I have another mod which removes here in the center of this planet, the back end of the planet, the rim lighting. So all of the planet is not lit up. It removes that rim lighting so that it actually looks like the light is shining on the planet, and when you get close enough, then you can see it, like there. But it is not like that all the time, which is really nice. A good lighting capability for being able to feel like you're actually in space, instead of everything lit up all the time everywhere. And I don't really care for water planets, even though this water planet here, let me use some missiles on that. This water planet would probably have quite a lot of vegetation. Yeah, let's go ahead and go down there. I have, I'm running about 39 different mods on my game. The mods are free to download from the nomanskymods.com, and there's about 400 different mods that you can get. You can pick and choose which ones you like, which ones you want. I have some mods for Return of the Rainforest, Better Planets, denser forests. I have some mods for the animals, bigger creatures. I have increased spawn rate for the creatures. I believe it's at 60%. And I have like alien creatures. I even have one called Wildlife, which brings animals from Earth to the planets. Now you notice that my movements are a little bit twitchy. That's because I have a wireless laser mouse, not because of the game. So it's because of my mouse, not because of anything in the game. I do use the mouse and keyboard, as I am not yet able to use a controller. I do not have low flight mode. I could get it, but I don't want it. And we'll go ahead and land here and see if there's any good creatures on the planet. We'll allow the spawning of the grass and all that. Mild rain, passive, abundant, and not present for the planet itself. Now the mods that I have make the planet look more alien and creates a better gameplay atmosphere for when you're in the game. It makes things look a little bit more alien. There are some really odd planets that you can go to when you have things for these planets, the mods, and it just increases the gameplay enjoyability. Now I have a mod called All Sentinels Are Walkers, and so anytime that there's a sentinel, they're not these little tiny things flying around, and they don't come up in your face. But I have these walkers, and the walkers, you can hear them, you can see them better, you can identify them easier. You're able to know where they're at instead of being surprised, and it's just a little bit better on that. Now I also have a mod for my multi-tool. As you can see, the HUD on there says mining beam, and actually fits the square HUD instead of looking odd or diamond shaped or round or whatever. And it's actually improvement on the HUD for the for the multi-tool. Hopefully my stream quality is improved and able to be seen quite well. I tried the best I could in order to get it to run properly and without skip or lag. Now there's another couple of mods that I have that I wanted to show concerning my ship and my exosuit. So here's my multi-tool. I don't have the bolt caster, but I do have the grenade launcher, plasma launcher, whatever you want to call it. Visor with scanning capability, and as you can see, basically it's all really high intense. The scanning capability is really good. So let's go ahead and go over here to the starship. As you can tell, the asteroid with the Thamium 9 is all of the resources that I have, with the exception of a few of the rarest types of resources. And over on my exosuit, you'll see that I have maxed out basically all of the extras, but I don't have resources. That's because I have no resources needed mod. And like if I go over here to my life support, I'm down to 94%. And even though I don't have any resources, I just click the button and it changes to 100% full. And I can do the same thing on my starship. For the deflector shield, the phase beam, I can fill up my pulse engine. I also don't need to make warp cells, so I can fill up my hyperdrive without warp cells or any resources to make the warp cells. I can fill up my launch thruster to full. All of it's basically full all the time, and if I use some, I can fill it and without getting any resources. Some people might call that a cheat. It's not a cheat. I did 450 to 500 hours worth of gameplay, getting the resources, getting the money, getting all, filling it up and making sure I had everything right, and and I do have the 48 slots on the ship. I have the 48 slots on my exosuit. I have 24 slots on my multi-tool, but I got all of that by actually playing the game. I did not cheat in order to get all of that. I went and I mined all of the emerald, and I made sure that to sell it and get the money, and I bought the extra slots for the exosuit. I went through and I did all the gameplay, looking for all of the extras, the jetpack, the health modules, the life support, the underwater breathing, all of the additional things. I did all of that. I worked hard for almost a month, for several weeks, in order to just really get it all, cram it in there and everything. But I found that I didn't have enough room for upgrading ships and having the resources to get the abandoned ships or the crashed ships in order to fill up all of the things there. So what I did is I downloaded this mod so that I have the space available, and now I don't even need the resources to get a crashed ship. I get the crashed ship and I can repair everything, fill everything, and do all of it without going out and getting the resources. I also don't need the money. Money is a resource. So if I see a ship that I want to buy, which I probably won't because all ships are under 48 slots when you have this mod. But I could get a ship for free, basically. I can get it with no problem. I also have on here on my starship another mod, which, as you can see down here on my hyperdrive, it is maxed out. I'm able to go 5,400 light years, thereabouts, a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes, but it's maxed out, and I'm able to basically go hyperdrive anywhere that I basically am able to see, with the exception of going beyond, that many light years. But it does improve the game a lot, and I have a mod which gives me atmospheric weather. So when I'm flying into the planet or above the planet's surface or anything like that, there's like a weather system separate from where you're landed at. Like right now, everything's fine, everything's clear, and if I start flying, I believe here, it starts to rain, as you can see. It gives a little bit of fog, and the faster you go, the harder the rain hits your ship. And I'm going to slow down here because I just saw something that I added from another mod. Now this here is an identifier, in-flight identifier of crashed ships and abandoned ships. So anytime that I see one of those, there's a crashed ship that's right there, and I don't need to use the signal towers in order to go and find a crashed ship. I can just look for one of those flame light type of identifiers while I'm flying around the planet and identify a crashed ship, investigate it, see if I want to trade up or whatever to trade the ship. And like I said, I have better planets, denser rainforest, return of the rainforest, for a mod. As you can see, it is very thick forested area here. I'll go ahead and land, and you can see that. I think I landed on a hill or a rock or something. Yeah, okay. Oh, good. Get zapped by one of them little whatever plant things. So let's go ahead and go over here, and you can see how thick the forested area is, and you can see that there are different colors of plants. I'm not sure that there's any creatures on this planet. I haven't been to this planet yet, except for right now. So that's, and I do have another mod which is called Mountains, and it creates a higher peak on any place that I go on a planet. Sometimes the mountains are double or even triple the size of what would be in the normal game, what's called a vanilla game. Let's get over here, go to the ship. And right now I'm just explaining a little bit about the mods which I have, just to give a little bit of a background. I have another mod which gives high quality water, so when I'm on a clear planet or something like that, you can see waves. When I'm up close to the water, you can see movement, and you can see like foam. So that's, I'll go ahead and land here, and you'll be able to hopefully see that. There we go. There actually is flowing movement of the water. The foam moves, and it gives like a different look to the water. There's some shadowing. There's reflection of light, and makes it actually look like it's water. So it does make it a little bit better, and it makes it look like it's flowing. Now, I see a lot of people, they are complaining, oh, you know, someone lied. And you know, that the game is not what it was made out to be. But and I understand that you know, the creator of the game actually did say a couple of things would be in the game, but they ended up not being in the game. For the most part, I believe that they removed a lot of the things which they were showing on purpose, because they knew that when with the PS4 that you would be able to add codes, and with the PC version you'd be able to add mods. So what they did is they took out a lot of the stuff that people might not want in the game, and they made them into codes or mods, and you're able to add them to the game. So therefore, you know, you can add only what you want and make the game personalized. If everybody had the same exact thing, and you know, everybody had low flight, then there are some people that would be complaining about that. With the mods or with the codes, you can either add it or not and make the game the way that you want it. So I believe they did it on purpose. And a lot of people are very angry with different things. He did say that over time that certain things would be added to the game. Certain things would take place and happen, and nobody waited. Everybody started complaining a week after the game came out. Oh, it's not what was promised, it's a lie, this, that, and all this other stuff. And nobody waited for all of the things to take place. Now, if there's anybody in chat, which I'm going to be checking here pretty soon, which is complaining about that the game is a lie, this, and really forcing the issue or anything like that, I got no problem with banning you. I'll get rid of the comment, I'll get rid of the you, and if you don't like the game, why are you here? Why watch? Go somewhere else. This is for people who like the game. They want to see the gameplay. They want to see what's going on with the PC mods. This is not a live stream for complainers. I'm not interested in that. So I will be checking the chat, and if you're one of those people, I'll just ban you. And as you can see, there's another crash ship right there. Now, like I said, there's about 410 different mods that are out for the PC version right now. And you can basically make the game what you wanted it to be. There's even a mod that adds in a bunch of different mods, and it's called The Game We All Wanted. And it puts everything that you originally wanted in the game and were upset that it wasn't in the game back into the game. And it makes the game more like, I'd say 99% like what the creator of the game played on his demo. So I'm going to check the chat and check the analytics and things like that right now. So hang on. Okay, I've got one person watching, and welcome. Even though there's no comments in the chat right now or anything like that, that's fine. Everybody wants to see what everybody else is doing on the No Man's Sky. I happen to like the game for several different reasons. One, you can modify it. You can add the mods. Two is it has the procedural generation of the game instead of load screens. One thing that I really like about this game is that I can play this game for 6 hours. or 8 hours and never see a load screen. I don't have to wait. I can just go and play the game and just continue playing the game and not have to worry about, oh, I gotta wait 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 12 minutes, in some cases 20 minutes for something to load in. Like when entering into a planet's atmosphere, it doesn't go to a load screen, that kind of thing. So it's really helpful on the game. But for right now, I am going to have to end this stream temporarily, and I will be back with more live stream, but I want to make sure to check this live stream, see how it turned out, and different things like that. So be back later. But right now I just got to get over to the space station, and it seems to be taking me over to the distress signal, which is not where I wanted to go. I want to make sure to check the stream quality and things like that. So let's go ahead and change that over to here and go over to the space station. That way we can dock and check the game. Get around here so that I can get into the space station. Well, if this was informative concerning the PC mods, let me know. I will be doing more gameplay streaming. Since I have the stream quality at a better quality than it was before. So I'm going to dock here and I'm going to stop the stream. That's about 45 minutes worth of gameplay right there. Just explaining about the mods. If there's anything that you want to know about the mods that I have, then feel free to ask on the chat or comments later, whenever. And I'll see what I can do and let you know. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream right now.